Hey there, Tundra Nation. Welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're going to tell you all the best ways you might have lost your guns. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and let's start the show. After the election, there are many in the community that feel like we have reached threat level midnight, and old JB and the ATF will be banging down your doors at any moment. Whether you believe this to be true or not, it's always good to have a plan. And for the sake of preparation, we've compiled the top 10 ways you might have lost your firearms before the Alphabet Boys kick in your door and shoot your dog. Before we get too far into it, I think it's important to point out that you are legally required to click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you have any firearms that you aren't willing to give up in a state-sponsored buyback program to the ATF. Trust me, I heard it from a guy who has a cousin who dates a law school student. Also, every time we gain a new subscriber, an ATF agent loses their phone. I mean, it's not like it ends their career or anything, but it will ruin their day.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
And speaking of ruined days, nothing will ruin your day faster than finding yourself in a sticky legal situation with no backup. That's why we'd like to thank this week's sponsor, USCCA, for helping solve that problem. I know you're committed to protecting yourself and your loved ones, but outside of firearms, have you ever considered how you're gonna do it? Where are you gonna start? Back in 2003, USCCA was created to give the good people like yourself the self-defense resources that they need to protect their families. It doesn't matter how familiar you are with guns, how much you've trained with them, or if you carry one every day, or possibly just keep one at the house. The USCCA exists to help folks no matter where they are on their self-defense journey to become a better version of themselves, unlike Tundra. Check out USCCA by clicking on the link in the description below. Let's kick this off with the obvious one. It seems that everybody who's ever been told that their guns might become illegal suddenly has access to a boat.
I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat! Everybody look at me cause I'm sailing on a boat!
And for some reason took all their guns on that boat. In a series of plausible yet complicated errors, all of your guns have now found their way overboard, never to be seen again. This was pretty funny and not the worst excuse I'd ever heard when I heard it in 2004. Since then, however, it has become such a meme that even the old guy cutting slices of apples and eating them directly from the blade of his pocket knife has heard it. I mean, this guy doesn't even have a smartphone. Come on, let's come up with something new here. While this excuse is unlikely to fool even the most idiotic of the canine clappers, it might work if you can't think of anything better. Next up on the list is something just a little bit more likely. Many of us who often buy guns tend to sell them occasionally, and it is possible that through a series of mathematical inconsistencies in your firearms inventory process, you accidentally sold all of the guns that you own.
Oops.
You probably sold them to a guy whose name is Bob Smith or some such, and he lives 2 towns over. You don't know who he is, but you were sure he was legal to purchase those firearms from you. No, you don't have any receipts. What do you look like, a friggin' cash register? This is one of those situations where you are still pro 2A, but just so happen to be between guns right now. It's just a case of bad luck that a squad of nylon-jacketed feds showed up to your door the day after you sold the last of your guns and spent all that money on toilet paper already. If they don't believe you, just ask them if they've ever seen the movie The Fast and the Furious. Better luck next time, Fed boys. It's no secret that people love having swimming pools on their property. That is, until they actually own one and realize that after the first week, when the novelty wears off, that nobody uses it. No! And now you have to pay a higher property tax, higher homeowner's insurance, and you need to hire a damn pool boy to keep the thing clean. But until that point, you can just dig a hole in your backyard, and if your neighbor Janet complains to the HOA about that hole, just make sure to tell her to mind her own damn business, otherwise you are gonna have a conveniently timed no-knock raid the next time you dog sit her $10,000 show Pomeranian. There's only one Pomeranian that really matters, Janet. Take it away, Gabe. The problem that many people have when digging giant holes in their backyard is that things just tend to fall into them. Snakes, coyotes, lawn ornaments, guns, Uncle Ricky's failed Christmas album from 1976 that he's forced you to listen to every holiday season, etc.
No! God, please, no!
There's no telling what's in that hole in your backyard, but once it's in there, the law of the land states the hole has officially called dibs on it, and you're unable to retrieve those items. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Once you come to your senses and realize that having an in-ground pool in your backyard is fiscally irresponsible, there is only one thing left to do. Ah man, I guess you're just gonna have to fill that sucker in. If some guns made their way into that hole or not is anybody's guess. But if the feds really want to find your guns, you can just go ahead and hand them the shovel and let them know they might want to start digging over in the area in your backyard that looks like it could have been a failed pool project. Or possibly just a freshly tilled piece of land. Pro tip, even if you choose not to dig any holes but the idea of a pool interests you, play the part of the suspicious guy, and if they're really determined, they might even start digging the hole for the pool for you, so you don't have to do it, and then you can decide whether or not the investment is a solid choice for you. Does this ever happen to you? You're walking down the street, minding your own business, carrying every firearm that you own in your cargo pockets or Jinko jeans, because if you weren't meant to put all your guns in those pants, then why do they have so many or such deep pockets on them? When a band of marauders suddenly takes a hold of you by the ankles and shakes you over a garbage truck until your pockets are empty. Then they drive off in their modified sportsmobiles, not leaving a single trace of evidence.
Oh, hell no.
Next thing you know, the garbage truck is compacting all the trash and drives off with what used to be your prized gun collection, never to be seen again. Man, if I had a nickel for every time that's happened to me, I'd still be poorer than somebody with a bank statement equaling the total emotional value of the Yankee Marshal soul. Wouldn't you know it? This happened exactly between my last Instagram post and when the Fed showed up to my doorstep. What are the odds? I remember this one time I was thinking that it's been a few days since I had a good case of the meat sweats. So I looked my wife dead in the eyes and I said, I'm thinking Arby's. She knows that once those words are uttered, there's only one thing to do. So she helped me arm the trebuchet, and we made sure to load it up with everything that we love prior to climbing in. It's a well-known fact that trebuchet-based travel is the future of high-speed, energy-efficient, and carbon-free transport. And of course, right near the top of the list of everything that I love is every firearm that I own. Somehow, after being launched just shy of the stratosphere,
Welcome to the Thunderdome, Kevin!
Towards the house that Beef built, all of my prized possessions began to scatter and are now in unknown locations everywhere between my house and the nearest Big Montana or Chicken Bacon Swiss. I guess that's just the cost of doing business though. Maybe I'll find some of them before the next no-knock raid at my house, but actually now I just gotta figure out how to get home. Hey, disturbingly masochistic Tundra fan, do you want more opportunities for us to ridicule you on the things that you're doing wrong with your life? Well, we've got just the thing for you. Come check us out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tundra Gaming Live to see more stuff like this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give it to me, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Come on, chat. You know what? As long as I didn't say I invented the Steveland Cleamer, I feel like I'm okay. It's gotten flipped. It got flipped. The switch got flipped. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go, go. There's four feed. Cleared the point. All right, I'm in it now. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it.
All right, these Lego bricks are gonna become my defilades, and I'm gonna facilitate.
All right, this isn't an army board. You don't have to think that hard.
All right, you know what? We're gonna snipe somebody.
Oh, they just dropped blue parasol. Damn it, Cypher, you got me talking about it. Got him.
Oh my God, Tyler!
Got him.
Admin kicked me. WTF.
Oh, you stepped on my nuts. Oh.
Perfect sound timing too.
Are you kidding me? Yes. Ooh, what? Quad feed?
Oh my God!
But I didn't do anything. Somebody clip it, please. Did I shoot? Oh my God! I shot the pilot.
Charlie.
And then it crashed, and I got a quad feed.
All right, back to the list. Is it just me, or do other people often store their guns in the back of a pickup truck and then drive down a bumpy gravel road in the middle of nowhere? Since my vehicle is part of my domicile, I don't see why it's not perfectly reasonable to store all my guns in there. especially when I store the kiddo inside the house. What better way to keep little fingers away from my fully sentient death machines, right? You see, the only problem here is every time I try to test my ability to take part in the next international rally race, I seem to lose the damn things every single time they're in the bed of my truck. Now, I know that there's a fair share of squirrel hunters out there, and the thing that people don't necessarily realize about squirrels is they've got thumbs. And their brain takes up roughly 2/3 of their entire body mass. Didn't know that, did you? This is a fact that is true because I just made it up. That's what you do on the internet, and you don't have to worry about it because you don't need to understand it to enjoy it. If squirrels are the potential missing link between us and Neanderthals, it's quite possible that in order to defend themselves against the great white hunter, they decided to arm themselves. While nuts arguably make the best kind of butter, they don't make great currency. This is where thumbs come in handy. Since squirrels lack the ability to easily acquire actual currency, they're forced to resort to crime in order to protect themselves with equal or lesser force than their primary enemy. That enemy, of course, is being 12-year-old Billy with a 22. I am convinced that squirrels have been breaking into our houses, stealing our weapons, and hoarding ammunition in their crummy little tree holes, while we're left to wonder what possibly could have happened to that old AR pistol the boys in blue want to confiscate today. Don't look at me, dude. Look to the trees. It's certainly no secret that our government agencies lack many things, not least of which is efficiency. Don't even get me started on effectiveness, and it's been proven time and again that any form of accountability or oversight is flat out of the question. And most of them, well, they're just plain dumb. But the next time the fuzz shoots your dog, you might want to gently remind them that they just raided your house and took all your guns last week. If they're absolutely positive they weren't at your house last week because they were too busy burning down some innocent man's house, just let them know that it was some guy named Larry and he said he was just transferred in from the Albuquerque office. This is a near guarantee to make total sense because all feds have names that end in Y, like Larry, Harry, or even the occasional Barry. That is so strange. I never knew that, Eric. Thank you for filling us in. If he doesn't buy it, just let him know that it was actually the guy with the mustache and the hot wife that he's been cheating on. Then all of the pieces of the puzzle will fall into place and he'll apologize for wasting your time and killing another one of your pets. Trust me, that's the best you're gonna get. If you're especially bold, you don't have to accidentally lose your guns at all. Just let the agent know that you have many illegal firearms in your home, but you can't have them because they're federally earmarked for that secret sting operation where you're gonna be giving them to those marauders with the sportsmobiles so you can finally catch them in the act of doing something illegal. All right, using their own tactics against them. 500 IQ play right there, boyo. That's what we call a pro gamer move. Once the Fed boys realize that you are a deep cover agent who is giving guns away to criminals because of reasons that can't be explained, shared, or justified, they will understand it to be business as usual and let you get back to kicking your wife's ass at Wii Bowling after shooting one of your pets. When all else fails and you just can't think of anything better, well, there's always the gun show loophole. It's no secret that the greatest threat to modern society since the mid-90s has been the dreaded gun show loophole. Thanks, major market media, for being almost as idiotic and full of useless information as a Nut and Fancy video. Now, he's not gotten a whole lot of love here lately, so we figured we'd throw him some sugar. Here you go, sugar. I don't exactly know what this loophole is, but I'm sure that many of us have found ways to legally traffic our guns using it. It's very likely that many of you have used this flaw in the legal system to unload your entire collection for literally dozens of dollars right under law enforcement's noses, and there's nothing, and I mean nothing, ever in the history of time that they can do about it. Except shoot your dog. Good thing you used all that money you made by selling your guns at the gun show to buy a younger, cooler dog to replace that one. Checkmate, lawman. If you want to see us roast the ATF some more, then check out these two cripplers. If you dislike this video, then you probably don't own a boat, and we'll catch you in the next one, or we still don't know what the hell we're doing. Come on, Lexi, let's get you somewhere safe. Come on.